Hey, you guys. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the Whole You presentation on how to create a personal brand that is powerful. So I'm going to give you a free online class tonight, and I'm really glad you're here. This is a topic that I absolutely love to talk about, how to create a personal brand that really rocks so that your business rocks. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I just want to introduce myself really quick. My name is Haley Hobson, and I am a wellness expert and advocate. I like to call myself a lifestyle and business coach. And I used to be a lawyer, believe it or not, in my prior life. And then I quit the practice of law and became a studio owner, Pilates and yoga studio owner and teacher. I did that for about 15 years until I decided that I didn't want to be a slave, so to speak, to my clients. And I wanted to have a residual income stream coming into my business. So I put aside my yoga mat. No, not really. I still practice almost every single day. But I put aside it as a teacher, and I created my own online business. And now I like to call myself a mom-trepreneur because I have kids that I'm raising at home, but I am an entrepreneur at heart, running my own businesses, and I like to do it online. And one of the aspects of my business, like I said before, is lifestyle and business coaching. And another aspect of my business is I work heavily with doTERRA essential oils, and I am one of the fastest growing wellness advocates in the company worldwide, and I reach the highest rank quicker than a lot of people do. And I believe it's because of the way that I was able to create my brand and market myself online. So for those of you who are here who are network marketing is awesome, isn't it? Right? You guys love it? I love it. I think it is the best business model ever. And I think that's probably why our friends give us a hard time. It's because they just want to be like us, right? I feel like I'm living the dream life right now. I have all the flexibility in the world. I get to travel wherever I want, and I travel I travel often, which is something that I love to do. But I also get to be a mom and create my own schedule. It's kind of ironic because I was posting something on Facebook today talking about how I had this power day today because I was able to sleep somewhat late for me, 7:30, and I was still able to hit 2 fitness classes at my gym back to back. And yeah, I felt like creepy and out of shape from not exercising all last week at our annual convention. I was able to hit 2 classes back to back, get a bikini wax, get a leg wax, get a manicure. Yeah, it's all in the personal maintenance. And I was able to still do 4 killer power hours of my business online today and still stop by my kid's school and play with her at her fall days. That was her who just walked in the room. Even though we had this deal and negotiation that she knows that mommy's working from 7 to 8, talking to hundreds of people online, they can't resist, right? But that's what it's all about, right? Being a momtrepreneur. So I was able to have a killer day, both doing personal care, playing with my kid, and building my business. And I'm able to do it because I have all the flexibility in the world to build it online as well as in person. So that's why I think it's super awesome, this business. And if you are sold on the idea of going into business and working for yourself, which I think you are, that's why you're here, being your own boss, and you want to have flexible hours just like me, right? We all want that. You want to be able to do what you want when you want. You don't want your income determined by someone else's perception of your value, right? And you want to meet lots of cool people in your network, right? You want to follow your passion and make a difference in other people's lives. I believe that that's why everybody is here. And you guys, you can do that. It's not just about waking up when we want to now. It's not just about having flexible hours right now. And it's not just about having to answer to some other boss right now or not having to answer. We are really building our business and security, not only for our futures and our kids' futures, but I feel like I'm in a position right now where I can be super generous with other people as well. I just got this amazing paycheck yesterday. I logged on last night at like 11 o'clock at night, and I looked at my husband and I said, "Are you freaking kidding me? This is nuts." And I'm not saying I don't work hard and don't deserve it, but it made me want to give several $1,000s today to a charity arm organization because now I feel like I'm in a position to do that. So yes, I love to have a flexible life. And yes, I don't want to set an alarm clock. And yes, I want to hop on a plane and take my kids wherever they want to go and not worry about whether I'm eating organic or not eating organic. And yes, I want to stash away some funds for their college education. We were joking about that last night, actually, at my stepdaughter's 14th birthday party. But I also want to be able to give back in an immense kind of way that I wasn't able to before. So this kind of business has a very huge opportunity for us to make a very large impact, not only on our own lives and the lives of our kids, but on other people's lives as well. And when we are building networks and communities, whether it's in our own downline or whether it's across the board, we are able to give back in so many different ways. So now the challenge right now is that with the growth of the industry, affiliates are pushing the envelope and abusing the system, which means that companies are really pushing back. We see changes in many companies about what their reps can and cannot do. You guys who are familiar with the network marketing industry saw that recently with the issue with the Vima company and the FTC, right? So what happens when you do nothing wrong and your company strikes back or the industry strikes back? What do you do when you cannot use your company trademarks or logos or products on your website or social media? What if you can't make certain claims? What are you going to do? Most people go into a panic, right? And why? Because they feel like if they can't do those things, they can't sell their product. And that is because that's all they're doing, is trying to sell a product. They don't have a brand. And when they can't show the product images, and they don't have a product, they're absolutely lost. Has anybody felt like that before? So that's a recipe for disaster, because your income can be taken away from you tomorrow without you having done anything wrong at all, right? So that's scary, isn't it? So you can see it's super important that we get this right. And you can, and I say this very often, you can get it right. Success leaves clues, and I'm going to map it out for you. Now, there are many ordinary people doing extraordinary things in this space, and there's no need to reinvent the wheel in your business. So what you want to do is you want to follow a process. Now, I remember having a little text message conversation with our VP of sales in my company the other night, and I might have been thanking him for the convention and just telling him what an awesome job they did, and he was giving me a compliment back and just saying, oh my gosh, you're so amazing, blah, blah. And I just said, Rich, I'm just a regular person with a huge mission to help others. And that's what it's really all about. If anybody here listening to this conversation has a mission, then you can get this right. So what I'm going to show you is why you need to develop a personal brand in your business and how to do it correctly. All right, you ready? But before I do that, I just want to quickly remind some of you of the reasons why people fail that I want to focus on. Number one, like we talked about before, they're trying to sell something. Number two, they don't have a soapbox or platform to share their message. On social media, you have a huge platform, don't you? They don't have a personal brand, so they can't figure out how to get away from that selling mode. Their network isn't growing. Well, eventually you do run out of friends and family, or they get sick of you, right? They're not empowering other people. They're treating their business like a hobby instead of a business. Here's a big one. People lack self-belief. And 3 of the most important belief systems that you must have in order to do this business are a belief in your product, a belief in your company, and a belief in yourself. And if you don't have that, you're going to quit way too soon. A lot of people don't stick it out long enough. So how do we overcome these mistakes, you guys? How do we get through these hurdles? We're going to address all of these in this next presentation. Too many people get into network marketing and they don't distinguish themselves from the rest. They don't build a personal brand. And what happens is they get lost in the crowd. Now, what do you think? Do you want to be just some other person selling your product? Because I believe there's a dime a dozen. Or do you want to be someone unique that speaks to a specific group of people that relate to you and feel you and know that they want to work with you because that energy resonates, right? I have certain people that I follow online, whether it's for business advice, whether it's for personal advice, and I follow them because I feel a connection, even if I haven't met them before, right? This even happens to me with TV shows. I joke about this sometimes that, during the TV season, which is starting really soon, I'm getting excited this week. Yes, I sit back at night and I get in my bed and I watch all of those shows that I DVR on my DVR. And by the end of the season, I actually feel like I know the characters. And I feel like, I should just tweet them because they should know who I am too. Really, it's because there is established some kind of connection. And sometimes the people that I'm following online, I actually have this burning desire sometimes to actually reach out and connect with them, literally, like on Facebook or an email, tell them how awesome they are because they've connected with me. So don't you guys feel the same way? Don't you want to be one of those people that somebody connects with? Having a personal brand is very important because you need to be really successful in order to be really successful in network marketing, in this kind of business, in any marketing business, in any network, in any network business at all. This is what you need. You need to stand out from the rest. You need to have an audience. You need to increase your reach. You need to be seen as a trusted authority, and you need to stop selling. And this is where a strong personal brand will give you a ton of headway above somebody else. Now, personally for me, I knew that I wanted to build online. And I'm the kind of person, ever since I was a small girl, even though I'm an introvert and thrive on the energy that I get when I'm alone, I've always been the connector. If it was somebody's birthday and we had 4 people going out, I was the person that made it 20. When I got to college and there was, 8 people going out one night, again, I made it 20. I was the kind of person that was always inviting and making the odd person get more comfortable. I was the person that was always making the party a little bit bigger. And so I realized as I got into my adult years, no matter what I was doing, I was always connecting. So when the internet opened up, it was natural for me to want to connect with more people. I love feeling like I have a connection. Some people call it fear of missing out. Have you heard that? FOMO. But for me, it's worked out really good in my business because it's actually one of my assets. I'm really good at connecting and following up and developing and maintaining relationships with people. And so when I decided to take my business online, it was a natural fit for me. And now I literally have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of followers on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest pages, and also in my organization. So that happens because I created this personal brand of who I am as a person and as a business. And quite often we're told to think of major brands like Nike or Apple or McDonald's or Starbucks or BMW, and they don't necessarily resonate with us, right? And why don't they resonate? Because they're very large corporations, so we can't relate to them very well. So I want you to think of personal brands instead. I want you to think of giants like Madonna or Oprah or Deepak Chopra or Mother Teresa or Martha Stewart or Dale Carnegie. These people are going to resonate with us as network marketers. So you don't have to try to mimic the large corporation. Look at the success of the individuals and how they have operated to brand themselves. Who are some of your favorite people that you like to watch online? For me, I love Gabby Bernstein. She's a person that I like to watch online. Lately, I've been really into Shailene Johnson. So who are the women or the people that you like to work with online or watch online, and why are you doing it? What kind of branding have they established? These individuals all had a very clear idea of their goals, what they stood for, what they wanted to be known for before they were successful. And this is something that I personally copied. I sat down for hours, weeks, months, even now planning the years ahead. What do I want to be known for so that I can implement and continue to build my personal brand? And these people that we just talked about, they all built their personal brand first and started from the ground up. It's really important to start on your personal brand right from the beginning. And the beginning can be today. So oftentimes we focus on our new logo or our new website. Now, let's look at some of the examples of how an expensive logo can make or break your brand, all right? What do you guys think of these fancy logos? What do you think of these expensive logos? Anybody care about them? Probably not really, right? Your logo has nothing to do with the success of your brand. Now, remember I was asking you to focus on individuals like Oprah, Madonna, Deepak Chopra, Dale Carnegie, Tony Robbins. We all know them, right? Well, what do their logos look like? Does anybody even know? Nobody even cares. Why? Because their brand is not their logo. What they offer, how they offer it, how they do things, how they carry themselves, how they influence people, how they leave an impression on people is how they change lives and how they make a difference and how they impact you. You agree? So what about their websites? If you have followed these folks, you'll see they started off with something really basic. And some of you who are following them, you may not even know what their website even looks like, and maybe it's not even that great. And even now, not all of their websites are these fancy sites with all the bells and whistles. So don't make the same mistake that everyone's making when they're starting out. Don't go spending all your time, budget, and energy on your logo and your website. Instead, focus on your personal brand. And why do I say that? Because a good personal brand makes you irresistible to work with. People will want to work with you, which means that you won't out there be selling all the time. A good personal brand creates a positive perception and a positive value in people's minds, and people act on those perceptions. And I'll give you an example, not to make anybody jealous, but I just want to throw this out there so you can see what I mean. I got back from being out of town last week, and it was really hard for me to do work while I was away. We had days from like 7 in the morning till 1 in the morning. And then in between time, I wanted to sleep for a couple hours, right? And I got home and I've been doing major catch-up, and some of that catch-up has been going through all of the people that have contacted me because they want to work with me. And it's literally been dozens just in the past couple of weeks. Because once you make that impression on people and you make yourself irresistible and you've got a problem that you're going to solve for them, they want to come to you, and then you're never out there selling anything. So isn't that what you want as a network marketer? I would think so, right? So what about your personal brand? Do you think you can just sign up as a network marketer for a company, set up their standard free website, start selling to your friends and family, and be a huge success? Well, yeah, I mean, you can be successful. For a long time success, though, you have to have the business that will continuously generate new business for you. So who you are and your personal brand is really super important. And you'll be able to make a living, but the folks who have real success have a passion. They have a passion for what they do, why they do it, and they develop their personal brand from day one. And that's what I often hear from people when they reach out to me is, wow, you're so inspirational. You're so passionate about what you do. Yeah, you know what? I am, because I love doing what I do. So you've got to love it. You want to make your living your passion, and then you want to develop a brand that shows people that you're out there to serve that specific group. So now, what is this personal brand thing? Some of you are out there, well, wait, we've gone through over 30 slides already. I don't even know what a personal brand is. A personal brand is the dominant idea or thought that comes to people's mind when they think of you. So the question is, what do people think of you? Do people think of you as the person that they want to avoid at parties? Do people think of you as the person who's always trying to sell them something and they want to hide behind the closet door? Do people view you as the person on Facebook who's always posting about products and like spamming everybody on how cool their company is? How do you want to be known? What dominant thought or idea would you like others to think about when they think about you? What are the values, the abilities, the actions, the standards, the perceptions? What are they that will associate with you? The main question is how are you going to stand out from the rest of the crowd? How are you going to therefore develop your personal brand? And how are you going to how are you not going to be just another network marketer? And let me talk to you about the benefits of it. When you develop a personal positive brand, some of the benefits that you're going to see are you are going to be seen as the trusted expert. You're going to have increased credibility, a greater reach. You're going to be a solution provider adding value to other people's lives. The first person that someone thinks about when they need help. You're going to have increased revenue. You're going to be able to sell less, as I said before, and more people will be approaching you. You'll be able to stand out from the crowd. Now, this isn't something that comes really easy, and it's not something that comes quickly either. I have been working on my personal brand for years already, and I feel like it gets better and better and better, and I'm always perfecting it. Always a work in progress. You want to be, right? But as it gets better, the business gets better. And as it gets better, I feel like I'm really making an impact on the exact type of person that I want to work with, who wants to work with me too. So let's take a little look at my personal brand just so you can get an example, okay? I'm not just about essential oils or the company that I'm with. I'm about this holistic whole lifestyle. And in fact, if you actually follow my Facebook page, Haley Hobson Health Coach, or you're on my Instagram page, Haley Hobson, or you're on my Pinterest boards, Haley Hobson 69, you'll notice that I almost never talk about the products that I sell. What I'm really talking about is my brand, which is the whole momtrepreneur and having balance in all areas of my life, which is something that I've always struggled with. Because when I've gone in with something, whether it was triathlon in my past or my running career or being a law student or even my business, I've gone all in and sometimes I have blinders on and I get really intense about what I'm doing. And what I've had to do is really learn how to focus on the bigger picture in my life and learn how to be an awesome mom and the best friend to my friends and a daughter and a sister and a wife and a mentor and a coach, while at the same time taking care of me, giving myself self-care, getting a good night's sleep, nourishing my body, eating real food, vegan and raw if I can help it, using non-toxic skincare and personal care products, exercising. You see what I mean? It's all about that for me, and that is the person that I'm going to attract is possibly the woman who has some stress in her life with kids and trying to have it all, and who wants to be healthy. It's not necessarily going to be the person who knows what essential oils are or wants to even buy them. But by bringing people into my world, into my whole you lifestyle, well, they're probably going to hear about it at some time or other, and that's how I've built my business. So people come to me and approach me not just because they want my product. They want that lifestyle. They want to be whole. They want to be successful, and they want my guidance and my help. And they see me as a trusted expert, someone that can help them achieve exactly what they want. So I'm not saying this to you again, you guys, from an ego perspective. I just can't make that up. It's taken years to develop what I'm passionate about. And you can probably hear it in my voice and see it in the sincerity in my face. I knew what I wanted to create. I knew the value of my passion. And I knew what I wanted people to think about me. And I stuck to it. And I made a clear and consistent plan so that I could authentically live my life and feel good about it every day when I wake up. So, first things first, before you even go out and start selling, before you even go out and build your website, Before you go out and start using social media, you need to focus on your personal brand. And the biggest mistake that people make when starting out in this business is they have no clear idea of what their personal brand is. So I'm going to give you later on a personal branding exercise, and you're going to reap the benefits of that later in your business, okay? So here's what you're going to do. You're going to be doing what 99% of other network marketers don't do. Talk about an advantage, right? You're going to have a strong, positive brand that will solve so many of your network marketing challenges, such as the size of your network, the fact that you feel like you're constantly selling, the feeling that you feel like you have not enough leads coming in, and your lack of reach outside that small network, right? So it's time to ask yourself, how are you going to stand out from the rest? How do you want to be seen? Do you want to be seen as a trusted expert? Do you want to be seen as a trusted leader? Do you want to be seen as the go-to person? Do you want to be seen as that person that people really want to do business with? If you want that, then it's time to start developing your own personal brand in a positive light. And remember, a personal brand can be positive and negative. Just because you develop a personal brand doesn't mean it will be positive, right? We've got a lot of help with that, with like the Kardashians, don't you think? So if you provide poor service, you're always selling. If you're always looking after yourself, if you're focused solely on money, if you throw other people under the bus, or you do anything that's negative, no matter how much money you make or how glossy your brochures or your website, how beautiful it is, your personal brand will be tarnished and it will slowly start to deteriorate. So what I want to do is I want to create a positive brand for you. You've got to follow your passion that is reflected in your work with better quality and a commitment and more drive so that you feel, like I talked about earlier, that it's easier to get up in the morning. Now for me, since I'm literally living my brand, or my brand is my life, I feel really good every day. In fact, I go through my days that sometimes when I'm working super hard and I've got days that are 8, 9, 10-hour work days, I love it because I'm fulfilling my dream. I said to my husband last night, we had a conversation. Actually, we went out to lunch and then we went out to dinner. It was one of those kinds of days. And, we were talking about this idea of like how much work is too much, right? Because he sees me sometimes where I can relax and go on vacation and sleep in and not show up. And then he sees me sometimes where I feel like, or he feels like I'm working around the clock. And I said to him, the truth of the matter is I probably only work on my business during the workday 4 hours a day, between getting up and getting the kids out, feeding them breakfast and doing lunch boxes and then going to work out and coming back. By the time I sit down, showered, and have my lunch, I've got 4 hours until my daughter comes home. And I can't really build my business the way that I want to build it, the way that I want to build it in 4 hours a day. Now, some people can, and actually that's not true. There's some months of the year that I can do it in 4 hours, sometimes even 2 hours. But sometimes it's going to take more. And I said to him, you know what? I don't want to be that person that's limited in how many hours a day I want to work. I love you, and I want to be with you, and I love the kids, and I love the family, and I can't wait to go out this weekend and spend time with you, but I love my job. I am living my passion. I am living my dream, and if I took that away from myself, I wouldn't exist. And I honestly feel like that, you guys, because I had jobs before where I was working for someone else, where I was waitressing in a restaurant, where I was working in a retail clothing store, where I was working as a law clerk, or even a lawyer, where I was working for someone else in a Pilates or yoga studio, or even for myself. And I felt like I didn't love 100% what I was doing. And now I love what I do. I'm living my brand. And that's really what it's all about. So again, number 2, the question is how do you want to be known by others? Do you want to be known with integrity and honesty? By always helping others? By serving others with good intentions? By working with the greater good? By being patient and having high quality work? By being a leader or an influencer? What are some of the words or ideas that you want to come into the minds of others when they think about you? Number 3, you've got to start implementing your brand. You've got to start working on your brand from the beginning. And your brand should be reflected in every single thing you do. From the emails that you send out, to the way that you act and talk, to your website, to your marketing material, everything. You've got to be consistent. Your brand must be reflected in all areas of your business. So you've got to start on that now. You want, when somebody opens up your Twitter account or opens up an email, you want people to recognize you and your brand. Number 4, you've got to choose your target audience. Your brand should be offering a solution based on a client's need. So you want to focus on what your ideal client needs, and then you won't be selling. When we come from a place of providing solutions to other people, to our ideal audience, the audience that we get to work with, that we get to choose to work with, then we're not coming from a place of selling, but rather we're coming from a place where we are connecting and we're offering help and real solutions based on their needs. And that is where the magic happens. That is when they start to buy. Number 5, you want to bring the personal into your brand. And I've talked a lot about this. You've got to incorporate your own uniqueness. Show your personality and your quirks. I do that all the time online. Everybody knows everything about me. Kind of irritates my husband sometimes, but you know why I do it? Because I want to be real, right? I don't care if my makeup always looks good or if my hair is done. I mean, look at it today. It's a frizz ball, right? I don't care if I'm dressed nice all the time. I don't care if I do crazy, weird things, because I'm a normal person, but my brand is my brand, and people are going to connect with me because of the positives and because of my personality quirks. You want to be personable and likable. You want to bring your own personal touch, and to do that, you need to be yourself. Now, I remember when I was going through Pilates teacher certification, I was trying to be my teacher. It didn't work. I remember when there were people that were trying to copy my website last year. It didn't work for them. You have to be true to yourself, and you can't imitate. Each one of us is different, and the reason that people are going to connect to you is because of your personality, because of your quirks. And that is why you have to be yourself. Otherwise, what's going to happen is you're going to connect with the wrong people. And then your message will come out all wrong. You'll be talking somebody else's language. Okay, number 6. You want to make your brand connect emotionally. You want to find the emotional trigger points of your ideal client, connect with your audience on an emotional level, and if you do that, you won't be selling. Now, with me, I try to connect with my audience on a much deeper level than just trying to sell and pitch. I'm always trying to come up with solutions to problems. And I'm also trying to come up with problems so that people will like to find a solution, right? When I can connect on that emotional level is when people buy rather than when you sell. And I'll go into a lot of detail with that in my course that some of you might want to take later called the Social Downline. Your brand should offer authentic solutions. You should be focused on providing real solutions to your ideal client problems. You have to be sincere and offer authentic solutions, and your brand is reflected in the quality of your solutions. And I've really been talking about that the whole slideshow so far, haven't I? Okay, number 8, your brand should have you stand out from the rest. Like I said before, you want to be yourself, don't imitate, be creative, and specialize and focus on a specific niche. And you've got to get out there and make your brand visible. You need to get out there and share your story with the world. Now, you've got to make use of channels and mediums to spread your message. Your brand is awesome, or it's going to be awesome, and you've got to reach as many people as possible. And you know what that means? You've got to get out there and start blogging. You want to have a website eventually, even if it's basic. Speaking engagements, networking events, radio, newspaper, social media, and all different platforms on social media, right? Videos, etc. Remember that your brand is not your logo. It's not your fancy website alone. It's not your tagline. It's not a way to get famous. It doesn't substitute for poor service. It doesn't hide a bad attitude, and it surely does not happen overnight. Your brand is how you act. It's the level of service that you provide. It's how you respond to emails and phone calls. That's one of the reasons I'm so quick to respond to people. I want that to be part of my message, that I'm there and I'm responsive. It's also because I'm a little bit ADD and anal compulsive type A. Okay, I take that. Your brand is also how you engage with your team. It's how you empower and lead others, and it's how you represent your company and its products. So a powerful brand will bring you more leads and referrals. It will get people coming to you and buying, which means less selling for you. It will position you as an influencer, as a leader, as a trusted expert and authority, and it will definitely make you stand out from the crowd. And I believe that after all of these years of getting my brand out there on guest blogging, my own blogging, YouTube, many different social media platforms, including, like I spoke about before, my Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, now Periscope, guest webinars, my own webinars, I believe that it's done all of these things for me. I brought in tons of new leads and referrals. I've built an awesome network marketing business. And I've been able to position myself as a leader and influencer, expert, and authority in the community so that people want to come and work with me. So the question then becomes again, do you want to stand out from the crowd? I believe all of us do, right? You don't want to be the same as everybody else. Do you want to get more leads? Do you want more referrals? Well, if you're doing this as a business and not a hobby, of course you do, right? And do you want to be seen as a trusted leader and expert in your market? I believe so. I think that's what we all want, right? So if that's true, then you want to start on your personal brand today. And if you want to learn more about this and everything else related to your network marketing business online, hopefully some of you watched my social media webinar last week. And if you didn't, make sure you get a copy of it. You can email support@HaleyHobson.com. HAYLEY, 2 Y's there, HOBSON, support@HaleyHobson.com. We had a great webinar last week about social media. But if you want to learn more about social media, branding, and everything else related to running your network marketing online, now's your time to get on the list. I know you guys are all excited. I am. We've had an awesome response to this the last couple of years. Enter your details below this webinar or go to thesocialdownline.com. Get your name on the list because we are launching, ready, drum roll, next week. And you're also going to get bonuses if you are on the kickoff webinar next week and an early bird pricing. So I look forward to seeing you guys online. I look forward to seeing your name on the list to get into the social downline. I look forward to teaching you in the social downline and continuing to teach you. This course has been extremely popular and it has literally revamped how other people take their downlines and the benefits they're getting from their teams and from the wide, vast lists that they have in front of them or been able to create all of the network marketers. So if you want to see some of those testimonials, all you have to do is go to socialdownline.com. It is clear. We've had 3 rounds of this course right now and people absolutely love it. So thank you guys. See you soon. I will see you online, of course, and you can find me as usual on Facebook, Haley Hobson Health Coach, on Twitter at Haley Hobson, Pinterest at Haley Hobson69, Instagram at Haley Hobson, and also now I'm on Periscope every day at Haley Hobson. All right, so I'll see you guys online. Have a good one.